The Quest 3 has a ton of hidden features, but most people don't know what this thing actually can do. From performance boosts to game-changing tools, here are the Quest 3's most powerful hidden features and why they change everything. Have you ever wanted to make a quick switch from a game to pass through to grab a drink or see what's going on in the room around you? Well, the easiest way to do that is actually with double tap for pass-through. You can tap the headset on the side with either your hand or the controller, and if you tap twice, it'll activate pass-through mode. This is a great way just to switch to your home environment or pass-through if you need to do something quickly. The Quest 3S has a physical button, but the Quest 3 doesn't, but at least we have the double tap for pass-through. Typing on the Quest 3 is a massive pain in the butt, whether you're using your hands or you're trying to pick through the numbers and letters with your controller. Well, there's actually an easier way to do it, and that is with swipe typing. Just like if you are using your phone, whether you're using your finger to swipe type or your controller, you could do that as well. You could turn swipe type on for the Quest 3 by going into your settings and then switching on swipe typing. It's infinitely faster, and it's way better than trying to henpeck your way through a sentence if you're sending a message. Another setting that will make things faster in the Quest menu is actually the ability to use your voice to control your Quest 3. That's right, you can actually have voice commands turn on in your Quest 3, allowing you to control the Quest with your voice. If you double tap the meta button, you'll hear a cue. Then you can speak and activate different commands. You can tell it to launch games, you can tell it to do different things like open settings or capture a photo. A lot of different things you can do with this, and it just makes things way faster than trying to fumble around with the controllers or find a specific setting. And now with the recent integration of Meta AI, you can actually ask it questions and even ask it what you're seeing through pass-through, depending on where you live and if you've got the feature activated, and it'll look through the pass-through cameras and tell you what it's seeing, much like what it does with the Ray-Ban Meta glasses that Meta has been pushing as well. If you ever wanted to capture a quick photo or a quick video to show your friends, or maybe you're creating content for YouTube, it can be a pain to start the recording. Well, there's a much easier way to do this. If you hold down on the Meta button and then pull the trigger once, it'll actually take a screenshot for you. And if you hold down the Meta button and then you hold down the trigger, it'll actually activate video recording, and you can stop video recording in the same way. It's way, way faster, and it works way better. The Quest 3's battery isn't the longest lasting battery. It lasts like 2 to 2.5 hours depending on what you're playing, unless you have a battery strap, which I highly recommend getting because you can play for a lot longer. But if you want to play for longer and you don't have a battery strap, there's actually a feature called the extended battery mode. What this does is it actually reduces the brightness and resolution so that the headset has to do less work and it consumes battery more slowly. You can enable this by going to Settings, System, Power, and then turning on the extended battery mode. This next one's great if you like to watch movies in VR or if you play a lot of darker, more moody horror style games. This is adaptive brightness. This adaptive brightness will actually allow your display to adjust for brightness and contrast in different darker environments so you can see better and it's easier to see. Even though the Quest 3 most of the time, or at least a lot of the time, recognizes when you put your controllers down to switch to hand tracking mode, it's not always perfect. But you can actually turn on a setting that allows you to tap your controllers together to activate hand tracking. If you head into settings and then to movement and tracking, and then you just turn on the double tap controllers, if you double tap the two controllers together, it'll activate hand tracking mode and you can set your controllers down. Just make sure you don't pull the trigger or hit a button or else the controllers will reactivate again. One of my favorite features that doesn't get talked about enough is actually app shortcuts. Did you know that there's actually a shortcut tray that you can customize in the Quest home menu bar? You can take any application, whether it's side-loaded or not, and actually add it into that bar and it'll stay there, and it locks it there. So it's right next to your recently used applications on the bar, and to activate it, all you have to do is grab an app from your menu system and drag it to the spot that you want to keep it at. You can also drag apps off of the bar if it's got something there that you don't want and just get rid of it. But it's a great way to keep your most used apps super handily without having to jump to the actual menu system. Let's talk about another feature of the Quest menu system that not a lot of people talk about, and that is actually the theater mode. That's right, if you're in the Quest menu and you want to watch videos, or you're watching YouTube on the flat YouTube application, or you're doing something in the browser and you want to have a larger screen, you can actually hit the theater icon down in the bottom corner of the window. It'll activate a theater mode where the screen gets bigger and you can adjust the size of it as well, but it also allows you to adjust the brightness of your room or your home environment depending on if you're pass-through or not, and you can even curve the display. So this makes for a much better experience if you're watching something in the browser instead, like Netflix or something like that, instead of using an application to do that. If you're not using game sharing and you have multiple people in your house, I highly recommend doing that. What you can actually do is add additional profiles to your Quest and then enable game sharing, meaning that the games that you own that are in your library that have game sharing enabled, which is a lot of them, they can actually activate the application in their menu and use that game on their profile. So it's a totally different save file. It can be played online with their account instead of yours. It's also great if you have two headsets. You can install the primary account on one headset and then a secondary account, and then they can play on that headset and you install your primary account on another one. Then you can play games together with only having to buy one game. Did you know you can actually play your Steam games extremely easily on the Quest 3 on a massive screen? And you can even use that theater mode that we talked about. That's right, you can use Steam Link to actually play flat games. Most people talk about Steam Link or virtual desktop or other ways to activate your PC VR gaming for just that, PC VR. But Steam Link actually now has an option for flat gaming. Now you could do this through virtual desktop as well, but it's free with Steam Link and it connects directly to Steam, and I think it actually works really well. All you gotta do is go to the Quest store and get the Steam Link application. It's free, download that, and then connect a Bluetooth controller to your headset. Make sure that Steam Link is connected to the same Wi-Fi as your computer with Steam on it. And then all you gotta do is activate gaming mode, and it'll just give you a giant screen that you can play all of your flat games on. There's also a travel mode for the Quest. Due to the way the Quest headset works, sometimes if you're on a plane, it'll allow you to use it in 6DoF mode or just regular mode, but most of the time, if you don't have travel mode activated, your screen's gonna go behind you because it uses the sensors to actually detect movement. But if you activate travel mode, it'll actually counter that and allow you to use the full features of your Quest, whether it's gaming or watching movies, sitting on an airplane or traveling on a train or a bus or whatever movement is happening around you. Now we talked about flat PC gaming, but what about just using a PC in general for computing power, for productivity? Well, with the recently launched Microsoft Mixed Reality Link, it's extremely easy. I'll put a link in the description to how to get this set up. There's a few different steps you gotta follow, but once it's set up on the PC and on your Quest, all you do is look at your computer, at the keyboard, and the Quest will recognize that you have a PC connected to the same Wi-Fi, and it'll just give you a little box that you can click on. And it'll pop up with your Windows computer in front of you as an extended display. It actually replaces your display, so you can have 3 displays in your space, even if you only have one monitor, so it's creating virtual displays. It actually functions extremely well. There you have it. There are some hidden features for your Quest 3 to get the most out of your headset, whether it's gaming, whether it's ease of use, or even additional performance. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if there's any that I missed, that are features that no one knows about or talks about. I'd love to see if there's anything that I've missed so I can make my headset better too. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and please give this video a thumbs up so that it'll get in front of more people. Again, thanks for watching and happy questing.